Okay, guys and gals, did a video earlier and I realized that, it was kind of crappy. So I'm trying to straighten that out right now, as you can tell. I was talking to you about the SIG P365 and the original P365 OG. Now, I can tell you, I'm going to tell you right out that in my opinion, Sig Sauer caught the rest of the gun companies with their pants down with these two weapons and other versions, by the way, because you can get the 365 XL. You noticed up here it has a cutout that's actually custom cut into the slide that you can put red dot optics on. Of course, it's probably proprietary at first, as is the rail down at the bottom, proprietary. And I think that has more to do with width of the firearm than it does, perhaps maybe actually in their attempt to keep stuff having to be bought from them. I don't know that for sure. I don't work for SIG. I purchased these weapons on my own, and the ammunition and everything else associated with it, because when I saw these, and I'm cautious when it comes to new firearms when they come out, and I'll have a tendency to wait for a very long time so these companies get the bugs out when they first come out, and they all have them, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. They all have their problems, they all have their little hiccups, and I'm with you. I don't think companies should be producing particularly firearms, and particularly CCW. What I mean is for the sole purpose of the firearm to be for your personal defense and those of your loved ones or somebody else in danger. I think that's a bad place to be testing a product like these on the customer. Okay? The unfortunate thing is as this trend goes, and I'm not talking about SIG specifically in this instance. I'm talking about all firearms company that have a tendency to indulge themselves in this type of practice. What's going to happen, and I'm sure it's that somebody went to defend themselves and ended up maimed, hurt, or dead, because when it came time, the CCW that they were carrying didn't function correctly, and it caused grave injury or death to the person trying to protect themselves. Do you hear me knocking? So yeah, bad place to be testing on the customer. So enough about that. Here's the thing, and I remade this video because the previous two kind of came out really crappy. The video quality was terrible, but I'm trying to fix that, obviously. So here we go. 365 OG, 365 XL. When I first saw these, and without going too much into my background, I'm 20 years prior military and then up to almost 30 in the civilian market as a civilian military contractor employee type //. So I have knowledge of these things. Let's just put it that way. I'm not going to go too far into that. It's not really that important. I'm not trying to impress anybody. But, okay, common things I hear about this particular one, the OG, is, I can't get my pinky won't go on there. Come on, ladies and germs. Yeah, that's a training thing, okay? You go out and you buy a sub compact firearm, you have to expect It's not going to go in your hand like a full-size, large frame pistol. Neither one of these are that. Okay? Neither one of them is that pistol. But being because I have knowledge, and by the way, this is another thing that is absolutely genius that SIG did. I'm with Hickok 45 and nothing fancy on these weapons. And let's not forget the SAS, which I think is, again, all gun companies do it. The SAS is just showing off. And, you know, there's things on there that practically are not necessary as far as I'm concerned, but that's as far as I'll go. And if you haven't seen it, the SAS is the OG version, and instead of the normal sights, which, by the way, these are trick right out of the box, the ones that you're seeing right now, tritium nice sights from SIG. Come on. Hello. You don't get stuff like that from other companies for this price. You just don't. So, you know, I ramble a little, go off track, but what I was getting at is the SAS has a ported slide and barrel. It's the exact same as the OG P365, just like the one you see, except for the frame, the slide is ported, and the barrel is ported. There are no external sights on top, and they've cut the frame out, cut the slide frame out to accept a tritium bullseye target, if you will. It's cool, it's slick, and the controls are like way minimalized. In other words, they're to the point where you really can't manipulate them very well with your fingers. You know, you have to use a coin in order to get the slide off. It's designed to not snag. Cool, yes. And let's face it, in a situation where you're defending yourself, the odds are you're not going to wait on a sight picture to begin with. That's just the truth of the matter. So yeah, it's cool, but you're also not going to be using the sights on an SAS. You're just going to pull the weapon, level, and fire. I mean, come on, let's face it. So enough about that. Those are your versions. They also have a version of the XL that comes with the optics, the red dot optics from SIG, of course. 3 MOA, 6 MOA, and so on. I didn't purchase it like that because I believe in minimalist things, and I think you should train and learn to use the firearm as it comes out of the box, and that's exactly what I do. Both of these are like surprisingly balls on accurate. And if you find anything different, you need to question the way you aim, I guess is what I'm saying, because, you know, they're on and they're consistent throughout all of them. So there you have it. Okay, for those of you that are, my pinky. Oh, my pinky doesn't go on here. Like I said, that's training. Trust me, these two fingers right here are plenty strong enough for you to operate this firearm effectively and accurately. I promise you. Another key feature with these two is these triggers. These triggers are awesome, okay? And I know people got gauges and everything that they're putting on them, and as these things break in, they're already very light, much lighter than the scales and meters are, in my opinion, saying. And as you shoot them, they get even smoother and lighter, which is awesome. And just a reminder of that, never ever, I don't care what make firearm it is, don't ever put either of these or any other firearm for that matter in your pocket with no holster, with nothing covering the trigger guard. Okay, Murphy is always around, and if you do that practice like that all the time, Murphy's going to get you. I promise you. And if you're appendix carrying, Mr. Happy's not going to be real happy with you should that happen. Enough on that. Okay, I distracted myself once again. Go figure, right? Look, the whole pinky thing here, if you are really that distraught about the pinky thing on the OG, here's what you do. Here's your remedy. You can buy the lower module handle grip. It's like 40 bucks, man. It comes with the mag release already installed. You buy just the lower module from the XL. You disassemble the OG 365 done by this pin right here. Of course, you pull the slide off. You don't have to disassemble anything in the slide. Just pull the slide off, leave it assembled. Put it on a bench, punch that pin out right there. Then the frame and trigger assembly, which is where the serial number is, by the way. So if you're concerned with that, you don't have to be, because the serial number is going to switch right to the XL frame. And that's what you're doing. You're putting this trigger group in the XL lower module where the handle is. You put it all back together, put the pin in. Now you've got a 365X with a longer handle where people don't have to hear about, I'm too lazy to train. My pinky doesn't go. Yeah. Folks, when you say that, when you're doing your videos, all that does for someone who's very experienced, they think, man, this person just can't shoot, and that's what their problem is. Because it really doesn't have anything to do with the pinky on there. I'm a minimalist, mind you. I get it. Don't get me wrong. So, you know, if that's really a big issue with you, then there's your option. I just answered it for you. And by the way, being able to do that is genius on SIG's part as well. You know what I'm saying? You hear me knocking? It's friggin' awesome. Okay? Then what you end up with is the XL handle. And here's another amazing thing. You put the XL handle on the OG, guess what? Now you're 12-in-1 on the OG. Hello? I mean, come on now. 4 freaking reels. These are outstanding firearms from SIG. They hit it out of the park. I'm with Nothing Fancy, Hickok 45. This is going to be top selling in CCW. And by the way, it already is. SIG, way to go. You hit one home this time. Outstanding. I love them so far. We'll see what happens as things progress and shoot more rounds through them and all that happy stuff. But if you like my videos, hit subscribe. There'll be more to come. I do fishing stuff too, by the way. Guilt Chaser here. Y'all be careful. Have a great day.